Hi dear friends, greetings from Georgia, and today we will review our new great batch of tea, batch 04, which I brought here to Georgia because now I arrived here especially for production of new batch of Georgian tea, which I for sure review later because I bring in the Chinese technologies to our factory in Ozergeti. And now I'm in high mountain area of Georgia. We're traveling and I decided to film here because we need it. So today I will tell a little bit what we received, because we received huge collection of tea, totally more than 40 types. Some of them it's restocked from previous batches, but mostly it's completely new collection. So it will be quite long video. Please take a seat because it's really worth. Also, I will drink some tea, and I think because it's sun and during sun we mostly like lighter teas, and I maybe start from Meizhou, Yeshan, Dansung, Liucha. And also I will review all our green tea collection. Actually, about this tea, we had a wonderful documentary on my YouTube. You can look at. And actually, Meizhou, Yeshan, Dansung, Liucha, actually Meizhou, it's a county in the north of Guangdong province. Yeshan means wild. Dansung is a single grown tea bush. And Liucha means green tea. And actually, this tea mostly was made for production of oolong varieties, but here we produce green tea from these varieties, and even puerh, raw puerh we tried from the same variety. It's absolutely fascinating green tea, and I can say that for me it's one of the best green tea I ever drank, because the first, it's oolong. Second, it's a first flush, so it was made in March of this year. Third, it's quite unusual technology. Mostly it's used for oolong, but we made green tea using Maofeng technology. You can look more precisely in the video when I made a full filming of production of this tea. For me, I can say this is for sure brilliant in our collection, and brilliant, especially brilliant in our collection of green teas, because it's such a sweet, it's such a deep and such a long-lasting flavor, and also very rich and very diverse. And yeah, it's really something very special. Even from the first infusion, you already feel all the complexity of flavor and fragrances, tastes, and yeah, and it combines the best from oolong and the best from green tea. Furthermore, I will talk about our green teas. Maybe, yeah, the second which really attracts my attention a lot, it's Minqian Yiji Songzhen Lucha. It means first grade Pretsin Mint Pine Needle Green Tea. Quite long name, but we keep traditional name for most of the teas. And actually Minqian means pre-Qingming, before Qingmingjie, Qingming holidays, beginning of April, which is quite famous holidays in China. And actually, traditionally, before Qingming, it was not so many teas produced in China, but nowadays it's quite a lot because of climate change, and yeah, mostly the first flush now harvested before beginning of Yiji. It means first grade, number one, and Songzhen means pine needles. Song is pine in Chinese, and Zhen is a needle. And Liucha actually green tea. So it's from Guizhou province, and it's quite also famous technology. It combines in taste, I think, something between a little bit remind Lonzin and a little bit remind maybe even Baijiguan oolong. For me, it's quite strange, but it's my personal preference, light taste. And also, for sure, Anji green tea and many other varieties. It combines. I all the time compare tea with tea, but actually it's one leaf, one bud, and a lot of hair by how on the buds. Very delicate, deep, and also long-lasting green tea, and it's quite intelligent flavor, not so punching. Very, how Chinese say, gao ya. Really appreciate this green tea. Next green tea called Liu Bao Shi. Liu Bao Shi, it means Bao Shi. It's actually emerald. And Liu Bao Shi is green emerald. This technology was developed also in Guizhou province, in Zunyi, and also Moutai counties of Guizhou province. And it's rolled green tea, which have a deep flavor and also quite strong. I can say it's one of the most favorite teas of Guizhou, and has local kind of standard, and actually comparable to Lunzin or other more famous varieties. It's mostly produced only in Guizhou province. Often used oolong cultivars, but this one not oolong, it's a classical green, and this is a quite special green tea, and also it has a little bit stays apart comparing to more classical taste profile. The next tea is Jiangxi Moli Liu Cha. It's from the north of Jiangxi, semi-wild bushes, because there are not so many tea production in this area, and mostly the producer focused on herbal tea production. But they produced limited batch of green tea, and jasmine was brought from Guangxi province and partially from Fujian. And was traditionally aromatized via mixing of jasmine flowers and green tea, and later all the jasmine flowers was removed. So it has very delicate jasmine flower and also very high quality material of green tea. Intense, long-lasting, many infusions, and not a punching taste of jasmine, which exists in more cheaper versions of jasmine tea, which is we can consider as a premium level jasmine tea. The next tea is quite unusual, Jinxuan Liu Cha. Jinxuan, actually, it's a golden flower, translated from Chinese, and it's Taiwanese cultivar. This Taiwanese cultivar mostly suitable for actually oolong tea production, and we know Jinxuan oolong, and also even Naixian Jinxuan, it's a milk oolong, used also this cultivar for milk oolong production. But here we used to produce green tea. Because we had this cultivar, and we know this producer, we decided, okay, why we don't do something similar to what we do with Moychay Shendansong, but this is much more affordable because this is not wild, it's a plantation, but it's clean plantation, cheap plantation around 1,000 meters elevation. It's a south in Fujian, and they had a Taiwanese technologist, so the green tea was produced by the guidelines of Taiwan. So it's very smooth and very delicate, not punching taste, very almost no bitterness, something in between oolong, very lighter oolong, white tea, and green. I recommend for those who like very lighter floral tastes without punching and sometimes even bitterness of greens. So very interesting variety. Two more green teas, which is more affordable versions: Guizhou Gaoshan Yunwu Liu Cha. It means Guizhou High Mountain Cloud and Mist green tea. Yunwu, it's close in taste to traditional Sichuan Maofeng Liu Cha, or also Zhejiang province and Jiangsu province has this tea, which is smaller old Maofeng. Also very long-lasting taste, and classical Chinese green, which also can be used for regular brewing even in a bottle. So not necessarily use Gunfu Cha for brewing of this tea. It's much more affordable comparing to other greens which I just presented. And it's easily can be used as a daily green tea drinker. And a classical Longjing Liu Cha. So it's Longjing green tea. It's actually very basic Longjing, so it's not a premium level of Longjing, and I can say for me it's also kind of daily drinking Longjing. Dragonvel is very famous, and I don't know, do I need to describe this green tea? But if you never tried, it's for sure must try daily drinking green tea. What's more, it's such a big collection today, so maybe I will continue fermentation wise from white tea, maybe also not even white, but we have only one not tea, which is actually flowers. Pinhe Yisheng Youzhua. It means Pinhe wild pomelo blossom. So this is the flowers of pomelo trees. What is most significant interest about this tea? It's actually wild abandoned plantation of pomelo, because in Pinhe county, where our warehouse located, our Chinese warehouse, and also where we do our packaging. And often in Pinhe, this is why I have a lot of tea from there, which I will describe later also. It's a capital of pomelo growing, world capital. So it's the biggest pomelo plantations are located there in Pinhe. And now pomelo market quite drops. And for some years, where many plantations become abandoned, and means also not fertilized, so they are clean. And for many years, there are some plantations which is for 15 years now and harvesting. It's kind of wild forest with a pomelo actually, and we harvested flowers there because regularly harvest pomelo flowers is quite expensive because you will not have pomelo anymore after. So this is why these flowers it's quite difficult to find. But we found these flowers you can also brew. Just one single flower is enough for a big mug because it's very intense aroma and very intense flavor, and you can also use it. You can add it to black tea, to green tea, even to oolong. And we actually have one oolong with pomelo flowers. I will describe later, but not with such intense pomelo. Actually, this is quite special. And what I want to say that this is absolutely amazing taste. It's uncomparable with something else. It's maybe a little bit with orange flowers, but it's for me even more closer than even orange flowers. So it's quite unusual tea, and I really love it. And it's actually also no caffeine, so this is flowers, it's not tea. The next tea which I can recommend and I really love a lot, Ziya Cha from Linsang, purple boot tea from Linsang. We have our bestseller Dragon Claw from Vietnam, harvested from Camellia crocosum variety, but this is not. This is from Camellia sinensis and Camellia assamica, and Camellia thaliensis, mostly from Camellia thaliensis and Camellia assamica. It depends which area, but here it's from Camellia thaliensis harvested mostly. And these purple buds, actually it's also wild kind of trees. And sometimes it's more smaller bushes, but still kind of wildish sourcing, and it has such an incredible aroma and smell. And this actually can be considered as a white tea, I can say, but generally saying is something between Shen and white, because it's also very intense and it's also has caffeine inside for sure. But these buds are floral, fruity, and very rich taste. And yeah, I can say that this can be a good something in the morning or something during the hot season, because it's also closer to white tea, and yeah, I really love it a lot. Great tea for any occasion, especially for hot season. Here we also have puerh by cha. Puerh by cha we already had in previous collection, but it was sold out, so it's a restock. It's a white tea made from Moutai, Moutai big leaf variety, classical white tea technology from the material which mostly used for puerh, which is why it's called puerh white tea. Very great tea. And what's more, we have so much here. And let me tell two words of, we have only two shampoos, and firstly let me describe Lansang Shencha, which we also have had before from 2019 spring, so it's already 5 years ago produced. It's a little bit aged Lansang Shen puerh from big trees. And the second one is a very special one. This is actually Jinmai Gushu Shencha, so it's from ancient trees of Jinmai Shen puerh, made in March of 2025 during my travels to China. Actually, if you want to join my travels, I do tea tours. I do tea tours to Yunnan, to Fujian, and I will have tours this autumn in October. I will have tours next year in March. You can approach me directly. So during this tour of this year, we produced only a few kilos of this Jinmai Gushu Shen puerh. We harvested ourselves, we roasted ourselves, and we have a small batch of this tea. It's limited, only I think 3 kilos something. So it's a very small batch of ancient trees, Jinmai Mountain, one of the most famous mountain, traditional Shen puerh, absolutely incredible Shen puerh. Also this year I visited for the first time quite interesting county in Hunan province, and I brought from there actually 3 teas from Hunan. We have 2 red teas and 1 heicha. What's most interesting, because heicha in Hunan mostly produced in Anhui, and this is, I think, maybe only one example of Chalin produced heicha, dark tea. This is ancestor of puerh shucha, so this is very deep, intense, and punching tea. Which, if you love really strong teas and want to find something instead of coffee or shu puerh or something really strong, this is a great alternative. Very strong, dark fermented tea. And also Chalin County actually famous because it's out of 900 counties of China which involved in tea production. Chalin, it's actually the first and only one which has tea, cha character in the name of the county, Chalin. And actually that's quite rare. And they have a history about 1,000 years of production tea, but later it was a little bit disappeared and not so many producers now in Chalin, but still the history remains, and the county is quite famous about this product. So we can say that, yeah, Chalin Hongcha, Chalin red tea, we have Chalin black tea or red tea, how we can call it, and Chalin golden black tea. So this is two types of caramelized red tea because they have their own technology that's kind of small semispherum, a lot of buds, and even in this regular Hongcha, but Jinhao it's only buds. And this Chalin Jinhao Hongcha, I can say it's one of my favorite red tea I tried for quite a long time. Chalin has its own technology, and it's an old traditional factory which exists for almost 60 years already. It's still government owned, and yeah, and this tea is absolutely impressive. So if you like black tea or red tea, I do really recommend this one to try because, yeah, it's special. It's really special. The other one, red tea, we have now very few because we had a lot of red tea in previous collection, but all the red teas we have now, it's all quite special story. Hunbaoshi. I just described this Lui Baoshi tea. This is Hunbaoshi, so it's also a rolled red tea, mostly produced from oolong varieties, and it's very sweet tea of Guizhou province. Classical red, let me say, but more sweeter version and more intense and long-lasting flavor comparing to many other reds. And yeah, I can say that also deep and quite diverse flavors, multi-layered profile. I love it. And this one is special, Maofeng Hongcha. Maybe many of you know, like Moutai fragrance black tea. We know Moutai vodka. You know Moutai vodka. It's a famous alcohol drink in China, I think. What we actually created, because now the consumption of alcohol going down, and even in China, which was quite a long time, there was more tolerant to alcohol and cigarettes. Now they create more and more stricter in ways of promotion and so on. Also promote healthy lifestyle, which is great. And alcohol producers, they want to survive. They still don't want to lose profit, so they created this red tea. Why? Because this produced also in Guizhou province, and on the border of Guizhou and Chunqing, actually there is a Moutai factory. They created Maofeng Hongcha. What does it mean? Maofeng, it means Moutai aroma black tea, or Moutai aroma red tea. Red tea, which was aromatized via fermentation, special way of fermentation, which is technological secret. We developed this fragrance of Moutai. There are no alcohol in this tea for sure, but it has a really aroma of Moutai. So if you love alcohol, or you drink before, or you just want to try something very specific, this is something, because it's a tea without any artificial flavoring, but they use a fermentation technology to develop this tea. So it's quite unusual, very special tea. And one more red tea, which called Pinhe Qiming Yeshan Hongcha, from Pinhe, the area where we have our wild Youzi, wild pomelo. Qinmin, it means it made during Qinminjie, beginning of April. Yeshan, it means wild, and Hongcha, it means red or black tea. Actually, it made 3rd of April. I even put the date over here because it's a limited batch. It we made only once this year. And we have only 3 or 4 kilo of this. It's also very rare. So it's a wild oolong variety from Pinhe. So it has a very long history actually, because in that area we have a production of farmer quality level black tea, which was fully manually made. And because of lack of knowledge and technology, local farmers, they produce quite a strange sun-dried red tea, which is quite bitter and very specific in terms of taste and flavor, but we decided to bring it into professional technology. So we just bought fresh leaf from wild area, harvested. We produce it by regular Gunfu technology. So we have wild material red tea, which is actually wild oolong bushes, not even bushes, sometimes even trees. Very special product. And we had similar product last year, also pink hair wild red tea, but this one I think we made even better because we're constantly developing the technology. I really recommend you to try. As soon as I talk about pinhe, let me say a few words about this pinhe Yeshen GABA tea. The same material, but we used GABA technology to produce it. So there's a vacuum fermentation involved. We had before Thailand GABA Assam, and this is something little bit close to this because it's also a trees and it's also bitter GABA. So it's really bitter tea, which later overlaps its bitterness with a certain very, how to say, Chinese huigan, like aftertaste, very sweet aftertaste, and also complexity of flavor is incredible. Very special by taste. It's something I never tried even closer to this tea, so it's difficult to compare with something. Whereas for sure something from GABA, something from roasted oolongs, maybe even something from red tea, yeah, and this bitter note, which is significantly important to distinguish a wild tea. It's often has with note of wild. Bitter kind of flavor. So this is also something very unusual. Oh, what's more we have? We have so much tea. Actually, we have two teas, which is actually a restock. We had them in the previous batch, but it means that we was mostly sold out. This is Hon Oolong. This is red oolong, so it's red tea produced from oolong, high mountain oolong, and Din by Moychay. This is GABA, golden white dragon GABA tea. This is both made from one factory, and it was our best sellers from previous collections, so this is why we made them again. There is a sign that it's packed in December 24, but actually it was packed in May. But because we had still stickers from last batch, so it's new packaging, but it's still the previous previous batch from last year, but it's only becoming better. Why? Because we have even Lao GABA, aged GABA, from the same producer. This aged GABA tea, aged vacuum fermented tea, made in 2018. So it's 7 years, it was produced 7 years ago. Such a complex flavor of this tea. So it's not so often you can try aged GABA tea because, yeah, GABA tea sells quite well, and not so many producers can store it for a certain period of time, but this one was stored, and it has all the GABA compounds and all the GABA specialty in terms of flavor and aroma and fragrance, but also a little bit of Chen Wei aged taste, aged aroma of oolong. So yeah, this is for sure. If you love GABA and if you love aged tea, this is 100% you need to try. But even if you just curious to try something special, this is for sure something special. And actually inside of this collection you often see word special. Why? Because this is special collection for sure. And each time I develop more and more, let me say, complexity in terms of how do I select the tea, not just a regular common tea, but there's some story, there's some special material or unusual technology and so on. Because I just harvested it, I was in China 2.5 months this year. So yeah, this is what we developed. One more tea which we had before and still have in the boxes. Actually, all this tea we also have in the boxes. Now I showed you the samples for 7 grams. So you can also order it, very convenient. And I have a wonderful sets. And this is also Moychay aged tea from 2009. Wow, that is something. This is 16 years aged Moychay oolong, made by Taiwanese technology, and yeah, it's incredible. Also from Southern Fujian, rare exclusive product. We also had it before, and now we have it also in a small sample size. One more tea, Lao Da Hong Pao, aged Da Hong Pao from 2017. Also, it's 8 years aged Da Hong Pao, classically baked, final tanbei technology, made 3 times. It's from Tsidan variety, so it's very close to traditional Da Hong Pao taste. Area is just straight nearby the rock area, so we can call it Ban Shancha, Health Regional Rock Territory. Hey! The people flying all around. Such a beautiful place here, actually. It's enjoyable to talk, and I don't want to hurry. So this is why you have such a long description of each tea, but I hope you find it useful, because I work on this 2.5 months. I have something to say about Nanjing Yesheng Dan Sung Cha. This is something close but also far to the tea which we have pinhe, yushan, GABA. What's the difference? Different cultivar. This is wild Dansung cultivar from Nanjing County, which is actually not too much tea in this area. There are some tea produced, but not so much. This is an example of also quite rare, wildly produced oolong. This is a treasure, which is something we're really hunting for. Same like pinhe, the same as Moychay. Also, it's quite something which is difficult to find, like Moychay Yushan. Half of this tea produced by order, and this is one of the best examples. We pre-ordered it last year, and we especially arrived to harvest, and I will have a video about it this year. So it is quite significantly special and different oolong, but it also can be called red tea because it's partially fermented a little bit more than regular oolong. Just for compassion, I can also say something about this. Oolongjuan, Yushen, Gaoshan, Meizhan, Youji, Oolong Cha. Such a long name. Oolongjuan is part of Anxi County, nearby Anxi, and actually wild high mountain Meizhan Oolong tea from 2024. Limited batch. It's about 2 kilos only, and yes, this is something I really love because it's lighter Meizhan, like not like this Meizhan, which is quite highly roasted and highly baked, and but this one is lightly baked, and also it has also significant wildish, let me say, note, which is also close to pinhe yushan. And all these wild teas like pinhe yushan, longjuan yushan, and Nanjing yushan, this is all free wild oolongs, all from different regions, all different tastes, very different. Here we have it much stronger because it's a really wildish wild. This is something, let me say, a little bit less wild, but also abundant plantation, which is also wild. This fruit tea is my treasure, which is made fully by us, by order, and it's quite rare. Yes, but Lungjuan I can really recommend because it also reminds me a little bit Tiguanin, a little bit Meizhan from Orishan, but it's something also very special. Yes, and for sure this Moychay also is special. What's more we have? Lao the Humbara described, we have a collection of fruity Moychay cha. Let me say also floral Moychay cha. There is actually 4 of these teas. Let me describe them all together because this is something really also special. This word I tell today too many times, but not too many actually. So what we have here, we have Molihua oolong cha, Meigui Meizhen oolong cha, Guihua Meizhen oolong cha, and Molihua oolong cha. Oh, again, it's actually same tea. Yes, and what we had, yes, this Youzi Hua Meizhen oolong cha. What does it mean? Actually, oolong cha, Meizhen oolong cha, it's a technology which really close to Dunfan Meizhen Oriental Beauty production, but a little bit simpler material. Also harvested not during the summertime, but sometimes during spring, and also not the perfect and high-level material, which is why this tea is quite affordable comparing to other classical Dunfan Meizhen Oriental Beauty, and it has 4 different flavors. So Youzi it's pomelo flower beauty. We have pomelo, single pomelo, but this is wild pomelo. It's very, let me say, VIP pomelo. Here's a regular pomelo, and it's oolong aromatized with pomelo flowers. Very sweet and very intense aroma. Guihua Meizhen oolong cha. Guihua, it's the Guihua Asmanthus, a beauty oolong tea. Asmanthus, it's a very famous tree and also very famous flower, and it's blended with also same tea. So if you like flowers and aroma of Asmanthus, which is for sure I can recommend. Meigui Meizhen oolong cha, it's a rose flavor. It has during 2-3 first infusions, it has very intense rose aroma and flavor, and later it slowly transforms into aroma of Oriental Beauty and a little bit aroma of Hun Oolong red tea. So that's a great also blend. And the last one is a Molihua oolong cha. So it's a jasmine oolong. If you like quite a little bit more pungent jasmine, comparing to which jasmine we have here, I just described this premium jasmine. Where it is? It was somewhere over here. Yeah, JC Molly Lucha. But this is oolong jasmine. This is jasmine which I really love. But I maybe prefer the green one if you like more complex flavor, more delicacy in taste. But this one, if you like more sweet, oh, we still have people flying all around. That's great. Yeah, you can also fly with this tea. Actually, same high, but without you don't need even wing. Molihua, oolong chai. It's also good for those who like jasmine. At least if you like jasmine tea, you need to try. This is quite special jasmine tea, unusual because mostly jasmine tea made with green or black tea, but this is jasmine oolong tea. And let's go forward. Actually, I told about Oriental Beauty. We have something which I really do like a lot. The first one is Dunfan Meijin oolong cha, and the second is Baozhong oolong cha. Baozhong oolong cha, it's actually, let me say, simplified version of Oriental Beauty. If you like something from this but without flowers, it's this Baozhong oolong cha. And second one is Dunfan Meijin Oriental Beauty, classical Oriental Beauty, made by Taiwanese technology, by Taiwanese technologists, but in mainland China, which is why it's more affordable in pricing and it's same time great. Absolutely wonderful Oriental Beauty tea. We tried before, we had it from different producers, and I can say this is maybe even better comparing to what we had before. And more, we have two types of for show Buddha's hand oolong tea. It's very famous because this for show, it's a big leaf variety. When you see plantation of for show, you can immediately see it's kind of thick, big leaf. Much bigger than regular oolong tea leaves, and you can easily see this plantation. And we have snow pear, Buddha's hand, Sui for sure, oolong cha from last year. Actually, Sui, why snow pear? Because it's early spring harvested from high mountain area of Southern Fujian. I love it a lot. And the second one is aged for sure. So it's actually Lao for sure oolong cha from 2015. So it's 10 years aged for sure. Both are absolutely incredible, intense, strong, which is something I love a lot. Great, great, great aroma and great tea. And also this for sure, we can say because of the big leaf and quite good technologies, it's such a long-lasting brewing. So you can brew it for a very long time. One more, Lao Moli Hua Oolong Cha. One more jasmine tea. But this jasmine tea is something completely, completely special. This is aged oolong, this jasmine. We had jasmine oolong, which made from a Maofeng variety, and but this is a jasmine which made in 1992. So it's 33 years ago. So it's aged jasmine oolong tea. Something completely exclusive. I don't know, we will have it enough again or not, because it was a limited batch which we found in a actually factory on one of my friend's producers, and he has a, oh yeah, I have this old jasmine, do you want to try? I tried and it's mind-blowing tea, because I love aged tea. It's one of my favorite, and it's a definitely deserve to be tried because it's also very unusual taste profile. It still has a jasmine, but also it has a strong Chen Wei aged tea taste. So yeah, that's special. More of the teas. Decafé Tiguanine. Decafé Tiguanine means the Tiguanine with a lower caffeine content. Actually, it's really very low. It's 10 times lower than regular caffeine. This is also strongly baked several times, and this technology you can distinguish that later we had a chemical analysis for this tea. Actually, about chemical analysis for all these teas, we have a chemical lab test that this has or zero pesticides or very, very low chemical compounds, but most of the tea has nothing. They don't do bio label yet because it's some additional cost, but they do tests for all the teas the imported now. That's also a good point. If you need for a certain case, you are B2B or whatever, you need to test for our tea, you can request them, we can send. For each type of tea we have a chemical analysis. So this Decafé Tiguanine cha, it's a low caffeine Tiguanine tea, also was tested for caffeine, so it's almost nothing, 10 times lower than in regular tea guanyin. So you can drink it in the evening if you like tea and you don't like herbal tea for certain case. This is something which I can really recommend. And from loose leaf teas, maybe the last one I didn't describe, Kanbei Shuixian Lao Cha. So it's an aged charcoal baked Shuixian. Actually, this is also 10 years ago, so it's quite aged and strongly charcoal baked. So it's a classical Hunbei of Shuixian. It's a classical Wuishan technology, classical rock tea technology. That's really very strong and very intense flavor, and I love it a lot. If you love rock teas and you like classical, highly roasted, highly baked oolongs, this is something you can really recommend. The same actually with Lao Da Hubao. It has a little bit close profile in taste. What more we have? We also have restock of wonderful white tea from Yunnan. We had it already before. This is a beautiful bird. 50 grams cake, also very affordable one. And we have two new wonderful blends of mine. I do experiment in blends, and maybe you know it from previous collection. I also talk about this spiritual development, one of my favorite blends. It's actually now, I even filmed stories, maybe you've seen. We had still more than 10 types of these blends, different bricks, chocolate-like bricks. And here we have Shen, white, and red tea all together. Now it's such a great, it's already aged a little bit, even it was produced in the winter time. But here we have more blends, and only two actually, in the shape of small cakes. Why we do cakes? Because it's actually more sustainable, it has less packaging use, it's just paper, nothing else. And this paper is recyclable paper, so if you will want to do more of these products later, because it's very convenient, and yeah, if you actually like this type of shape, like 50 grams, please leave a comment below actually what you can comment about regarding the packaging, or what teas you like or not, what teas you felt like kind of missing in our assortment, because I constantly develop my assortment and want to bring more and more teas, but we also have kind of limited capacity, and I try all the time to catch all what I can, but I still need to select. Yes, so this is why. So this is blazing onyx shuhong, so it's a black tea and a semi-fermented black tea close to shu puerh, and also shu puerh. So it's kind of semi-shu, semi-black, and during the last stages of Wotui fermentation, we added a little bit of partially fermented red tea, and there is some secret technology how we made it. It's something close but not fully to, I hope this one find you well, tea brick from our previous collection. I do really recommend to try it. It's, yeah, at the same time shu and red for both fans. It's valid anyhow, regarding you what you like more. And the second tea is actually Sholong. Sholong is very affordable, 50 grams cake. There is a brand of shu and aged oolong. This is one of my favorite blends, actually from previous collection, and maybe from this also. And also there is the design fragrance of ink. Our designer made manually, and there is a description how it was made. Later a little bit transformed by AI, but the paper was firstly made manually with putting paper in a shu puerh. So quite interesting art project was implemented for this design. There is a description inside the cake. And yeah, and this here we have Sholong Lao Chabin. So this is aged oolong and aged shu altogether. Very special blend of mine. It's my, let me say, treasure, and a little bit proud of it, because I blending so much of it is, and I try to develop also specific flavors, which is not common. And the last cake, it's limited cake, only 48 pieces. Maybe we later do more, but if the material stays, it's a very limited edition. It's shu puerh, Gunting shu puerh from Bulan. There is also a description on the paper, so it's from 2024. It's a fresh material, Gunting, so it's an imperial level, only buds and a little bit of leaves, and it covers it from big trees of Bulan Shan Mountain in Moutai region. Classical fermentation of ripe puerh, shu puerh, and they made 357 gram cake. And the design is made by my son. He tried to paint many teapots, maybe I don't know, maybe 50 or something, and some guy ones. Yeah, and inside there is our teapot. He also feel very proud that I used his painting, his artwork for this cake. It's a great shoe. It's not a even daily trigger. It's a great shoe for any moment, and it's quite strong, intense, and delicate. And also, it's very good for aging because it's a great material. It's number one. It's new. This is why it's not very high price still, but it's a great material, and with the years it become better and better as many other teas, not only shoe actually. So that's all for today, and I really appreciate your time, and I really appreciate if you share this video, because here is a work of mine. Say first half of 2025 it was. I was searching for these teas and selected from many other teas. I'm still having processing to actually prepare the next batch 05 for autumn. Some of the teas we try to restock, but some of the teas will disappear, especially like Georgian, maybe will be available only next year. Like we said with other wild teas, it's very limited supply. Some teas we will try to restock, especially GABA ones, and maybe Sharin Huncha and some other which is more available in bigger amounts. Especially we try to develop our collection now because we constantly working on it. And so I very appreciate your feedback. Please write down what you tried, what you want to try, or what you think about this and that. And it's for me really important. I read all the comments. So thank you very much for your support. I'm investing a lot in this, and really appreciate that you buy our teas. It means we will bring more teas, and we will constantly search for something specific. Greets from Georgia again. Such a wonderful weather today, and we going now to a tea factory to produce more of Georgian tea, which is our next chapter. Actually, don't forget about our Georgian collection. So have a great day, and thank you very much for watching this video. Leave some comment below, like, subscribe the channel. See you. Bye.